Have you ever heard of Facebook? Probably, since as of the last tally, Facebook had 1.11 billion worldwide users, and about half of those people were using Facebook daily. Maybe what you didn't know was that Facebook started out as a website known as Hot or Not, a fact that was covered in the film The Social Network. But what constitutes hot or not? What does it mean to be attractive? There are actually scientific ways of finding how someone can be attractive. Despite beauty being in the eye of the beholder, there are characteristics that we find more attractive, such as a symmetrical face being far more attractive. And men tend to find women with the perfect hourglass shape more attractive, being a 0.7 ratio from hip to waist. Women also find attractive characteristics being a broad chin, high cheekbones, and someone tall. Of course, women also rated things like faithfulness, intelligence, and humor far higher than the physical characteristics. The personality traits rating in the 70th percentile or higher, and the physical characteristics only rating in the 30th percentile at the highest. But for the sake of the men of the world and myself, let's make us not sound so shallow. What makes that 0.7 hourglass ratio so important? Well, it's actually evolutionary. From an evolutionary standpoint, the 0.7 ratio is the perfect ratio from hip to waist for birthing, whereas a 0.6 ratio possibly could point towards the hips being too small to have a child come through, whereas a 0.8 ratio can point towards obesity. And obesity, that's not just a shallow point. Obesity can point towards problems of fertility and possibly having birth defects. Obesity can also tend to look like pregnancy. And when looking for a mate, why would a man want an already pregnant mate from an evolutionary standpoint? But men also rate things like empathy and faithfulness very high. Above all else, though, men actually prefer an attractive face for a long-term situation more than an attractive body. A common factor with both men and women is that they're attracted to people who are well-dressed. This doesn't mean you have to wear a suit every day or to dress, but it does mean you have to keep your appearance up, and hygiene fits into this area as well. Somebody who appears to be well-kept looks like somebody who already has it all figured out to his potential mate. We also see that fashion can give a sense of identity and power and position, which is always good to a potential mate. We also can see that high fashion generally costs money. So a rich mate, a mate that has it all figured out, and a good-looking mate are qualities that are nothing to complain about. People will go to very far distances for the name of attractiveness. Think about the women who have spent $160 billion every single year on cosmetics. Sure, cosmetics make women feel more attractive, and men tend to find women who wear cosmetics more attractive. But why is that? Well, when women are ovulating, it tends to push blood into their faces, making their cheeks appear rosier, their lips a deeper color of red. And oddly enough, the cosmetics we wear do the same exact thing. Ovulation is when the woman is at the height of their fertility, meaning that their most potential moment of mating is at that point. So, we see that by wearing makeup, women appear to be a better potential mate. But beauty is, and always will be, a cultural thing. We have seen that several different cultures like things like stretched necks, and stretched lips, and stretched earlobes. And there's several links down below if you'd like to learn some more. Of course, beauty really is just in the genes. But things like plastic surgery and dental care can get in the way of our selection process. We can fall for a smile that genetically is a complete lie, and nose jobs can maneuver themselves around our senses. We can use things like cosmetics that get in the way of finding the potential mate. Humans are beautiful. It shouldn't take science or the beholder to prove that. All it takes is you. and of course, the right mirror. Thank you, and you've been scienced.